All right, hello everyone. This is Pamela Belen. Welcome back to my channel, or just welcome if this is your first time. For those of you who have actually seen my reading or have used my reading from just a few days ago, this is the sort of unofficial second part of it. So last time we talked about releasing, whatever it is that you need to release from 2020. And in order to create something in 2021. So it's just a lot easier. I mean, of course, you don't have to do it, but I kind of think it works against you a little bit when you carry like old sludge from the old year, especially when it was such a hard or difficult year like this last one that we're in, or the one we're currently in now, but won't be soon, as of tomorrow night, actually, if you're in the Eastern Coast. So I just advised that, and it's something I do every year. It's just kind of like my own little ritual that I like to do, is just think of things that I want to leave behind with 2020, just kind of leave it in the past. And then in 2021, I can focus on new goals and kind of do it from a lighter place. So this is what I'm offering you. So if you did do the last releasing reading, then this would be the complimentary one, or the unofficial second part of this whole process. And I hope it helps you. So instead of doing a collective reading like I usually do with the 3 pick a card endings or 1 card readings, I'm actually going to do just a traditional pick a card reading or pick a pile reading. So that's what you see here. And before I start, though, I should introduce myself. Sorry about that. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Pamela Belen, and I am a professional tarot card reader, as well as a holistic life coach and an energy practitioner. So I do Reiki, polarity therapy, and tons of other stuff that I use with my clients to kind of help them, especially when we're doing coaching. So I'm bringing all those skills and all that training to this channel, and hoping that, even if it's just in a minor way or in a small way, I hope to help people. So if you're interested in more, please check out my website, which you'll see in the description. And if not, then I hope you continue to enjoy these mini readings. And of course, they're not going to be the same thing as an individualized reading. I just kind of want to say that off the bat. So when you do pick your card or your pile and I read it, if something doesn't resonate, please keep that in mind, that many, many people will be receiving the same reading. So some stuff will resonate with you and some won't, and the same is true for everyone who's using these pick a card readings. So just take what works for you and leave the rest. And if something doesn't resonate at all, like if you pick something and the whole reading just seems off, my suggestion is to not give up and just try again. Pick a different pile and see if maybe that's a better fit for you. All right, so having said all that, let's go ahead and just kind of pay attention to these 3 groups. So we have this, my markers are going to be these raw stones. So I don't know what they are. I'm not going to make believe I'm some sort of crystal expert, because I'm not. But this is sort of like a very pale yellowish one. So we'll say this is the yellow one, and then this one over here, or pile 1. This will be pile 2 over here, and it's sort of like a spotted, some sort of spotted jasper, I believe, if I'm correct. That'll be pile 2, and then we'll have pile 3 over here with this blue stone, which is pretty cool. It's a nice big chunk. Feels good holding it, actually. So there you go. All right, so there's going to be your 3 markers. So this is going to be group 1, 2, and 3, and they're marked by their respective stones. So just go ahead and pick the one that kind of calls out to you in regards to creating. What do you want to create in 2021, right? Now that you've kind of cleared the way a little bit of some negative stuff you may be kind of like carrying around with you all year, you put that stuff down, and now you're ready to manifest something new and lighter and better. So I want you to kind of focus on that as you're looking at your pile. And then I will put some timestamps in the description about halfway down, and you should be able to just kind of go straight to your reading if that's what you want to do. So I'll see you there. All right, hello, group 1. So if you chose the group with the yellow stone, you're in the right place. So let's go ahead and do your reading now. So here, we'll just kind of put that off to the side, and let me just lay out the cards. Okay. So if you guys know about tarot readings, or you know about the tarot cards, you'll know not to have too strong a reaction to the death card. So nothing to worry about. I actually used to dread this card. This is kind of like a sort of like a message from your higher self card here. So all right, so we're taking a look at what this coming year is going to, not necessarily, I'm not predicting anything. What I'm doing is more of a guidance or more of an advice type of reading, where we're going to take a look at, I don't know what you want to create, so that's something that you're going to have to kind of keep in mind as I go through this reading, and hopefully it does resonate for you. So we're just going to take a look at, like, you know, what does it take to create whatever it is that you want? So in this case, we're taking a look at, like, this first card here, right? The Seven of Swords is letting us know that in order to align with your goal, you have to really stop looking at the past. Stop looking at maybe, you know, some failed attempts in the past to create the same goal. So let's take, for example, you want to start your own business, right? And you've tried a few times before, and maybe you weren't as successful, or maybe you weren't successful at all in the past. And it's kind of hard to, and I understand completely, so it's not like I'm judging or anything, because I completely understand that feeling of, like, well, if it didn't work last time, why is it going to work this time, right? And it may be a conscious thought, it may be a subconscious thought, but either way, it's working against you. So in order to align with your goal, whatever it is that your goal is, whatever it is you want to create in 2021, you really need to let go of the past. Any past beliefs you have about it, that you don't deserve it, that you're not capable, that you've tried and failed, you know, maybe some people even compare themselves to others, you know, and they just kind of do the whole, well, if they couldn't do it, they're way smarter than me, or they have way better resources than me, and they couldn't do it, why would I be able to do it? So just drop all that. You know, don't be like this guy and carry all that negativity with you. Don't look back into the past for reasons not to try. So that's what it's going to take for you to really align with your goal. So next, we're going to look at, like, your mindset, right? So if you do want to be a business owner, how does a business owner think? You know, are they thinking success? Are they thinking innovation? Are they thinking, you know, networking? Are those the thoughts they're kind of having? Or, you know, is it, this is never going to work? You know, obviously it's going to be, you're going to have a very different mentality if you're achieving your goals, as opposed to those that do not achieve them. That's just a fact. You know, people who think differently will have different experiences, even if the exact same thing is happening to both of them. So when I take a look here at your card over here, the second one, it definitely shows me that the mindset you need to have is one of, okay, this last year was not great, right? Or this year that we're currently in right now, it was not the best year ever for most people. It might have been for a few people, but for most of us, it was not the greatest year ever. So instead of feeling sorry for yourself and kind of just being kind of stuck in the past, it's important for you to look at what you learned from this year. So what did this year bring out in you? Did it bring out your inner strength? Did it bring out your ability to be grateful for things you took for granted before? Did it give you the ability to really get to know yourself, you know, and really, like, fully reflect on who you are and what you want? Those are real gifts, you know. So it's sort of like a card of, I guess, just like a mindset shift completely. So yeah, absolutely. And this is what we're looking at. We're looking at what kind of mindset do you have to have in order to create the goal that you want to create in this new year, right? And the mindset you have to have is being able to kind of learn from the negative experiences you have, but not forget them. So don't deny them. Don't act like it never happened and everything's fine if it wasn't. But definitely look at the silver linings. Definitely be grateful for the silver linings or anything positive that may have come out of something really challenging. And that's how you're going to continue to grow. So it's just kind of a way of kind of turning something negative into something more positive or something you can be grateful for. So that's the mindset that you're really going to have to start taking on if you want to achieve this goal that you have. So the next one is going to have to be, it doesn't have to be anything, sorry, I just misspoke. But basically the next card that we're looking at here is the Ace of Cups. So I see a new opportunity here for something that you really love, something that you're passionate about. It might be something you've always kind of wanted to do or something you've always wanted to have, and you're really, really focused on it at this point. So, in the past, maybe you would always think like, one day I'm going to do this, one day I'm going to do this, one day I'm going to do this. And right now, I kind of feel like the action you need to take is take that first step. So take that first step towards this thing that you love and that you really want to create, and just know that it's not going to also, you might or might not have success. It really, we're not looking at that so much right now. We are just looking at simply what you need to do in order to align yourself and get yourself in the right mind space so that you can have the best chance possible to create this stuff. So what I'm seeing here is definitely just going for it, but make sure that it's something that you really love. So don't feel like you need to do this because somebody else told you once that this was something you should do, or because someone you admire is doing it, you want to do it also, or it's because what your family expects of you. You get the point, This action that you need to take towards your goal is definitely going to be something that you need to do. So stop thinking about it, basically. Stop feeling all kinds of ways about it, and just do it. So just go for this goal that you really, really love. So that's what I'm getting from that card. And then, okay, so we're taking a look at this card. This is just a little bit, I want to just kind of tune in a little bit to it because I want to see what the message is here. So we're going to take a look at what thoughts do you have to kind of keep in your mind in order to create this goal that you want for 2021. So I think I've got it. What I'm picking up here is definitely a card of someone who, like this couple here. There's a couple there, and they're, maybe not the richest people in the world, and they're just kind of out in the cold a little bit and a little worried, and just kind of concerned about, usually with this card it's about finances, but it doesn't necessarily have to be about finances. This is just a discomfort with being kind of almost forgotten, right? But if you look at the building behind them, or a church, traditionally it's seen as a church, you see the lights are on, there's rays of lights coming out, kind of inviting them in. And if they really wanted to, they could come inside and they could get warm, and they could possibly even get some food and some guidance, So what I'm seeing here, what kind of thoughts do you have to have? I think you have to have a thought, or like, again, sort of a mindset, or what kind of thoughts do you have continuously, affirmations and stuff like that, continuously tell yourself, is that no matter how bad things seem, you can get through it. There are resources out there for you. You're not alone. You have not been abandoned, So I think you really need to think about the fact that you're going to be fine, because there's always help there for you. So those are the kind of thoughts that I really want you to cultivate as you go through 2020, and as you go through the process of creating this goal that you dream about in your upcoming year. So I don't know if this usually denotes someone who thinks kind of negatively, so is always kind of expecting the worst, kind of lives in the past, doesn't really see the good that comes out of challenge. You know, they tend to kind of just feel not sorry for themselves, but they do kind of feel pretty down a lot, and they feel kind of slighted, I think, a little bit by life. So probably a really good idea to get rid of that kind of attitude this year if you want to succeed, because that's really working against you. So there you go. So that's the main reading. And then this last card over here, which you have the death card here in this reading, I just want you to know that basically when it comes to the death card, what we're looking at basically is not necessarily death. I like to call this card the rebirth card, because that's exactly what this is. So I feel like in 2021, in regards to this goal that you have, Group 1, there's going to be sort of like a rebirth completely on either yourself and your ability to get this or manifest it, or in the goal itself. So maybe that you do have this goal that you always kind of felt you had to do, but it wasn't really where your heart was. So maybe you'll finally kind of be honest with yourself and just let that goal go, and instead focus your energy on something you really are wanting to manifest or wanting to create in your life. So it's either going to be that, or it's going to be you. You're going to kind of, it sounds, or it looks here like in maybe in 2020, maybe you took a bit of a beating. So instead of just, not that just a pandemic, you know, of course that was a big thing, but I feel like the people in this group might have, some of you anyways, might have had that on top of other stuff going on in this year that really kind of kicked your butt a bit. So I feel like there's going to be a rebirth in your outlook, or there's going to be a rebirth in the dreams that you want to achieve, or there's just going to be a complete shift in the way you think about things or how you see things in life. So that's not a bad thing. That's actually a really quite wonderful thing. So you may be coming out of this phase of, not phase, but out of this year that kind of gave you a spanking, sort of. And now 2021 might be the year where you just decide, I'm going to be my best self, and it looks different than I thought it did, and you're gonna make it happen. So this is actually a great reading. You know, it starts off a little negative sounding, but I hope you can see the last card as more of a wonderful message from your higher self, letting you know that you're going to be reborn in some way. You're just going to completely shake things up for yourself and just move in a completely different direction than you thought, or you're going to keep moving in the same direction but in a completely different way than you normally would have tried. So let's say again, if we stay with this business example, maybe you've tried a few times, it hasn't worked out, you're kind of stuck in that past experience that you had. Maybe now in 2021 you'll have a complete shift of your mindset regarding starting businesses, and you try a completely different way of doing it this time around, and now boom, you've made it, you know. So it could be something like that, just kind of like a complete overhaul in the way you achieve your goal this year. So all right, Group 1, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it helps you in some way. As I said, if the entire reading did not resonate for you, please go back to the beginning of this reading and just pick a second one and see if maybe that's better. And for those of you who felt it did resonate for you, I would love for you guys to, obviously I would love for you guys to subscribe, but if you don't subscribe, if you could at least just kind of let me know which group you picked and how it resonated for you. What did you get out of it? You know, did it help you? Did it give you some clarity? That's what I always hope to do for my clients with all the services that I offer, but especially with tarot. I feel like the clarity is what really helps people make great decisions in their life and move forward in a really strong and confident way. So I love hearing when people tell me, yes, you know, the cards told me this and it was spot on, and now I know exactly what I need to do, you know. So yeah, definitely please share any positive experiences you've had, and I will see you next time, which will probably be in the new year. So have a happy new year, and we will talk then. All right, welcome everyone. This would be my group 2 here. So if you chose the pile that had this topper, the spotted, or I think it's called like leopard spotted jasper, then you're in the right place. So we're going to be taking a look. I'm going to just spread the cards out, and we're just going to kind of take a look here at, like I said in the intro, just the second part of making goals happen, right? The first part, it's always very helpful. It's not mandatory, but I find it to be quite helpful to cleanse or clear stuff out, whether it's energy or physical stuff in your home or anything, just clutter, all that stuff. It's really good to kind of let that stuff go, clear your mind, clear your space, clear your energy, and then create. So that's what we're trying to do here. So if you've done the last reading where you cleared out energy, now we're going to look at how you can create whatever goal it is that you are hoping to create. So we're taking a look here. All right, so this is very interesting. This is the Lover's card, and despite the name, it can be about relationships, but in this case, I really feel that it's more about making really important life decisions. So this card is in the placement, letting us know what you need to do in order to align with your goal, right? So if you're working against yourself, if you're saying you want to lose weight this year, but you eat not so healthy constantly, that's kind of working against you, right? It's working against your goal. So that's pretty straightforward. So I feel that in order for you to align to your goals, whatever they may be, and this, I'm just kind of looking quickly, I'm scanning at the entire group of cards here, and I would say a lot of you are probably, that are in this group anyways, are hoping to manifest or create something financial. So like a business or, a new job, new career opportunity, something along those lines. Not all of you, but some of you in this group definitely, I think, are focusing on something financial. So in order to align with your goal, whatever that might be, this card is telling you have to, what do you need to do in order to align to this goal that you want is to make a decision to. So decide you want this goal. Don't do the whole, well, I kind of sort of want to date, but I'm not putting myself out there and I'm making no effort whatsoever, but I'm sure it'll happen, none of that. If you want something this year, whatever goal it is that you're focusing on right now, you need to decide that it's yours. You need to kind of almost view it as something you already have, right? Kind of go into that mentality, like the law of attraction, where you're not even in a state of wanting, you're in a state of gratitude because you already have it. So this is a very strong message because this is a big, big card here. It's a major arcana card, so I think it's a big message that's being sent to this group, or some of you in this group, that's asking you to decide finally this year coming, you're going to create this goal. It might be something that maybe you've been saying you're going to do many years, many New Years have passed, and you keep saying you're going to do this thing and you haven't done it. This is the year. So go for it. So that's definitely what I'm picking up there. So now when we look at like someone, let's say, that has a business, right? If that's your goal to start a business, what kind of mindset do you need to adopt that this person has? The person with a business, they think very differently from someone who doesn't, right? So you have to kind of adopt a new way of thinking. When we look at this card over here, which this is the card letting us know what kind of thoughts or what kind of mindset do you have to have? In this card over here, we're seeing a knight. This is the Knight of Pentacles. So if your goal in this case, anyways, as an example, is that you want to start a new business, you definitely want to kind of adopt just this attitude of being someone who is confident and knows that they can get what they want. And they also know that even if they don't know how they're going to do it, they just believe in themselves enough. They have the confidence that they need and know that they're going to get it done. So what kind of mindset do you need to have, group 2? You really need to adopt an attitude of, no matter what it takes, I'm just going to keep trying to get this done until it happens. Not when or if it happens, not if it happens, but when it happens. So you really need to kind of take on the mindset of someone who's going to be successful, not someone who hopes to be successful. So I hope that makes sense. Basically, someone who you have to see yourself as someone who already has it. Again, a lot of law of attraction messages I see here. So, all right. And in the next card, we're going to take a look at what kind of action can you take, right? So now we've talked so far more about the mental game of creating your goal. Now we want to take a look at the actual physical, I guess it would be completely physical, right? What do you need to do in the real world to kind of get this energy moving so that you can start creating what you want to create? And this is the card over here that we're looking at, the Six of Pentacles. And what I see here is that at some point in time, it might be right now, it might be in the future, but I kind of see an energy or information here just kind of letting you know that whatever goal it is that you're hoping to create, soon you're gonna have to really start thinking about investing some money. So it won't be just about kind of getting stuff done. It's actually going to be about getting stuff done, but you're also going to have to start putting in, kind of paying out something as well as taking in. So it can't just be about you getting clients or you getting, let's say in the case of a business that you're trying to start, you can't just get clients. You're going to kind of hit a wall with that, and you're going to start needing to kind of invest, whether it's invest time, invest energy, invest money. I feel like the actions you're going to need to take are going to have to be about you kind of creating that cycle of give and take. It can't just be one-sided anymore, right? So it's going to have to start kind of moving on to the next step is definitely you're going to put or give out something and you're going to get it back. And, hopefully 2 or 3 times, times the amount then you're putting in. That's what would make it a successful business if that is your goal. So, but yeah, I definitely see that you're going to hit a point where your only option is going to be to start investing as well as reaping the benefits of whatever it is that you're doing. So, which is not a bad thing, because I do believe in cycles, and I do believe that the energy of money or energy or anything that you give out absolutely comes back to you. So make sure that it's all with good intention as well. So now, when we talk about thoughts, right? Like up here we talked about mindset. So a mindset and a thought, in my mind anyways, or my opinion, the difference between them is that with a mindset, it's something you kind of carry around with you at all times. So it's present no matter what you're doing, who you're talking to, what the circumstances are, as opposed to thoughts, right? So thoughts are a little more automatic, right? They're also a little more fleeting. So I kind of feel like it's important to have positive thoughts. So also, if you do have negative thoughts, let's say, it's really, really important for you to kind of switch them to something, to the opposite of whatever it is that you're thinking. So in this case, luckily, you have a very good card here. This is the Magician. So what does the Magician do? He makes magic. In this case, it is a he. So he makes magic. So he makes... he can create just about anything he wants. He has all the tools here he needs to make whatever dreams he has a reality. So those are the thoughts you need to have. You need to really force yourself. If it's difficult for yourself, fake it till you make it. Just keep reminding yourself that no matter what your goals are or what the circumstances are around you, you are a powerful, powerful magician, and you can create anything that you want. So this goal that you want is going to be a piece of cake for you to create or manifest. So that's how I want you to start thinking when it comes to this goal. I really want you to kind of really think about how powerful you are. So it's hard, I know, a lot of times, especially if you've had some failures in the past or you've seen failures in the past in regards to your goal, and then it just kind of makes you doubt yourself. But don't do that. Just kind of completely go into denial when it comes to this goal and only focus on how capable you are. All right? Okay, so now this last card here, this is going to be the Nine of Swords. This card does not look so great, right? It's not upsetting necessarily, but it's a little disturbing, a little unsettling. That's a better word. It's a little unsettling because this last card is a message from your inner self. So whatever goal it is that you're hoping to create, I kind of feel like there's some anxiety around it. So I don't know if this is something you've tried doing in the past, or if it's something you're really struggling to believe you can do or you can really achieve. So you've kind of created a little bit of anxiety as your reaction around this goal. So your inner or your higher self wants you to really kind of take in the fact that there's no need for this. There's no need, again, you know, if we look back to the thoughts that you're being asked to have about yourself and you achieving this goal, is that you can do it, right? And then your mindset about yourself needs to be of someone who's just capable of doing stuff even when it seems impossible. So I really believe that your higher self is really asking you guys, or some of you in this group anyways, to really relax. Just take it easy. It's not, you know, this is not impossible. You can do it, and you just need to believe in yourself a little bit more. So, and I think when you do, you will be able to create what you want. So if nothing else motivates you, just know that you really do have to believe in yourself in order for this to happen. So, all right, so there you go. There's your well, not necessarily a 2021 reading, but just more of a reading after clearing what you want to create, and then just a little bit of advice from the universe, just letting you know how things are potentially going to go for some of you. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it was helpful, and I hope you got something out of it. So I will see you next week, which means it's also going to be 2021 next week. So I also want to wish you a very happy New Year's. And yeah, we're in this together. So I will see everybody next time. All right, bye. All right, hello everyone in my group 3. So if you chose the third pile that was marked by this beautiful blue stone, then you are in the right place. And there's the blue side. And so you're in the right place, and we're going to do your reading here. So let me just spread these cards out, and we will take a look at them together. They're very good cards. All right, and then this card is going to be over here. This last card over here is a message from your higher self, so regarding your goal. So as I said in the intro, we're looking at the second part to a little bit of an unofficial series, you know, a two-parter where we started off by cleansing our energy, or cleansing or clearing something that wasn't working for us anymore last time, than in the last reading. And now that you clean that out, you kind of make room to create, right? So that's where we are here in this reading. We're in the part of creation. So, which, by the way, not the card I'm going to read right now, but this card right here, the Empress, is definitely the personification, in these cards anyways, of creation. That's the ultimate card for creation. So I love that this group got that card, because it's a beautiful card. And it's a great, I think, omen for whatever it is that this group wants to manifest. So I think that that's a really great sign. I gravitated right to that right away when I saw it. So, all right, we're going to start off by just kind of thinking about what it takes for you to align to the goal that you have. So I obviously can't tell you what your goals are, but what I can do is kind of give you a little bit of advice on how to create the best version of yourself so that you can attract that goal, so you can be motivated towards working for that goal, so that you can think and talk and act and, you know, kind of feel almost like you have it, right? A little bit of law of attraction, as I said in the last group too, actually. Just there's a sense of, there's a lot of power in acting as if, especially when you're really not feeling it, when you're not feeling yourself, when you're not feeling the circumstances, and when you're really doubting yourself. There is nothing wrong with acting as if, in this regard anyways. I'm not saying be delusional, right? But I am definitely saying sometimes, in some cases, you can absolutely kind of talk yourself into your own power, and there's nothing really wrong with that in my personal opinion. So anyways, with this first card, what I'm looking at here, how do you align to your goal? There's two people. Normally this card would be seen as a relationship card. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here too, but in a more general way, obviously, because this is a shared reading. So I think that some of you, whatever goal it is that you have, that you want to create in this upcoming year or ever, because this really is a bit of a timeless subject. So this reading could really be used at any point in time. So, but in this case in particular, what I see here is you're going to align with your goals by asking for help. So I really feel that, let's say, I'm just going to take an example of maybe you want to lose some weight this year. Maybe you've been saying for a few years now, I want to lose 10 pounds, I want to lose 20 pounds, whatever it might be. I feel like you need, or it's going to be much more successful for you if you kind of hire some help, or you get some help. So, in this case, let's say I want to lose 10 pounds and I haven't been able to do it on my own. So I go ahead and I get a personal trainer, right? Or I go to a nutritionist or something along those lines. So I feel like the way you're going to align to your goal is going to be with the help of someone else. You need a partnership. This is what, you don't absolutely need it, but it is suggested. And I think it will really up your chances quite highly if you do go the route of getting some help. So if you have to pay for it, you pay for it, so, and if you don't, then you're very, very lucky. If you know a nutritionist, there's nothing wrong with asking for some advice. So I think you're definitely going to align yourself with the help of another person. So maybe you'll need or you might decide you want to work with a buddy, like do a buddy system type thing where you have someone who's holding you accountable, something along those lines. So I think that that's what I'm picking up here, is definitely the sense of working with someone else in order to achieve whatever goal it is you have for yourself in this coming year. All right, and then when it comes to mindset, so now we're going into this mindset card here, and like I said, this is the Empress, which is the card of creation, and in many senses, not only in pregnancy or anything like that, but also just like creative pursuits. Her intuition cannot be beat. She's got the best intuition, and just has this very, very strong ability to kind of just really zero in on what she wants. So when it comes to your mindset, what kind of mindset do you have to have when it comes to this goal that you're hoping to create now that you've cleared out the old? Is, I believe, anyways, the mindset you need to adopt is one of creativity. So thinking of creative ways, thinking of solutions, thinking outside the box, kind of coming up with new ways. Again, if we want to stick with the losing weight goal, going to a gym and eating carrots all day long is not the only way to do it. You can get creative with it and find different ways to do it, especially since we're so limited because of this pandemic. You do have to get quite creative. So I think that the mindset you're going to have to adopt in this goal that you're creating, Group 3, is very much one of creativity. So if you say, okay, I'm going to go to the gym, and you get to the gym and then the gym's closed indefinitely because of the pandemic, you got to come up with a plan B. So just kind of be resourceful, be creative, and just kind of keep it fun for yourself, and just know that there are plenty of resources out there and plenty of options out there. So don't feel like you should give up if something's a little bit hard. You just need to kind of keep going and get creative with your solutions. So alrighty, that's the second bit of advice that you're going to be getting there on your mindset. And then after you examine your mindset, you have to think about action, right? So what action do you need to take in order to create this goal? And this card here is pure, just like this card here is the personification of creativity. This card over here is the personification of action. So this one's pretty clear-cut and straightforward, where it's basically telling you to stop thinking and just go for it, do it. Whatever it is your goal, whatever your goal is, whatever your goal is, just go for it, just do it. Don't overthink it. Don't kind of sit around and write down pros and cons and reasons why it can work and reasons why it won't work, and just go for it. Just do it. Just take that first step And before you know it, you'll be halfway through your goal, and then before you know it, you'll be done with your goal and you'll have achieved it, and you can kind of cross it off your list. So basically that card's just telling you to get moving. That's pretty much the gist of that. And then what kind of thoughts do you want to create for yourself when you're trying to create this goal, right? Like, what kind of thoughts do you want to have around it? You don't want it to be a stressful event. You don't want it to be, a really complicated, overwhelming process. No, no, no. You want to have some better thoughts around this. You want a good association to this process so that it becomes something joyful. All right, so now with this fourth card over here, we're looking at the Two of Staff. And the position of this card is basically asking us to take a look at the thoughts that we're having around the goal that Group 3, or some of you in Group 3, will be having about your goals. So, the difference for me between a mindset, which was your card up here, think creativity all the time. You have resources, you have options, you can create options where there aren't any. And then just thoughts. Thoughts are things that I think that you can kind of maneuver them to kind of work in your favor. So, you might have a negative thought, let's say. So here you're being asked to kind of shift your negative thoughts into something a little more positive. And what this card here, the Two of Staff, represents is definitely about balance. So in the case, again, we're going to keep going with the case of, or the example of someone who wants to lose some weight and that's their goal. If that's what you want, what you're being asked here by this card, or what you're being told here or advised with this card, is that yes, you should absolutely kind of maintain balance mentally, but also balance in your actions as well. So in this card, you kind of see, this person's got two different things here they need to choose from, and they're not sure which way to go. Both of them seem good. They both seem good enough. There's nothing that makes either one seem any less or more interesting than the other one, right? So what I'm picking up here with this is, what kind of thoughts do you want to have so that you can align yourself, so you can create this goal that you have, is to just kind of maintain some balance. So again, I actually didn't finish my thought, but when I'm sticking with this example of the person who wants to lose some weight, yes, there's a lot of value in sticking to a certain eating plan, right? There's a certain value to avoiding certain kinds of foods. There's value to working out, but you also need to enjoy your life. So yes, don't sit around and eat chips all day long, but if you have a small bag of chips once a month as a treat, no problem, right? So I kind of feel like that's the balance that it's talking about here, the kind of balance where whatever it is that you need to do in order to make your goals happen, do that. But then also just pull it back a little bit and inject a little bit of fun in there. So whatever that means in your circumstances, according to what your goals are, just try to maintain balance in everything, because achieving goals is priority, right? But so is living your life. And you can't live your life if you're just constantly on this road, this one path, and you just can't even see anything else. You have to make room for other things in your life, like chocolate. So that's what I'm picking up here as the thoughts that you should have. So whenever you're feeling very like, well, no, I need to, maybe I'll work out all 7 days this week because, I ate too much of, whatever. Let's say I ate three kid-sized Snickers bites or whatever those things are called. Give yourself a break. Live a little. It's okay. It's not the end of the world if you ate 3 tiny little bites of Snickers. Just don't do it every day, right? Or several times a day. Don't do that. But definitely a little bit of balance. So a little bit of chocolate and a little bit of Snickers along with your working out and your eating kale every day is okay. So that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying balance. So those are the thoughts I want you to kind of have. Don't avoid get-togethers, although right now you should be avoiding get-togethers, but let's say COVID's not happening and we're talking from, about another time where COVID is no longer an issue, don't avoid your friends because you don't want to drink because you're trying to lose weight. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Like, just maintain balance as opposed to going to any kind of extremes. So there we go. Alrighty, so there you go, group 3, that is your main reading. And then over here, we're going to take a look at it's just basically like a final closing message for this group from your higher self. So this is really just wisdom or advice that's coming from yourself. So I'm just interpreting this. And here we're looking at the King of Swords, and the King of Swords is a person who's very, very disciplined. And this is a person who is also very just as well, though. So I think in this group, some of you are being called to, again, this kind of goes perfectly here with this guy over here, where we were talking about balance. I think here this person is saying, or this final message you're getting is something along the lines of, yes, definitely be disciplined. Definitely know what you want. Definitely go for it. Keep your emotions out of it and just get it done. But with this card down here, I think you're also being asked not to get crazy either. So don't, like I said, just go to any kind of extremes. Definitely have some kind of balance here, because this card is also someone who's very logical, someone who's very disciplined, someone who's very hardworking, very intelligent, knows how to kind of be very neutral as well and keep their emotions out of situations, which is very helpful in some situations. But this person also knows when too much is too much. So this person definitely knows how to kind of like maintain the scales of balance. So that's why I believe these two cards are kind of coming together to let you know that it's a good idea to go for your goal. Definitely work hard, get some help, however that is, whatever that means to you. Be creative and know that you have all the resources that you need. So don't just give up because you have one thing not go right. And then definitely just maintain your balance while you're going for this goal. Don't let yourself kind of be overtaken by anything, by either side, whether it's healthy food or junk food. Don't be swayed to live in either one of those worlds. Just kind of try to maintain your balance. And whatever that means to you, it's going to mean something different for everyone. Just maintain whatever it is that balance means to you. So all right, group 3, so there's your reading, and I hope you found some value in it. And I will be back next week with another reading as well. And I hope you got something out of this. And as I said earlier, if you picked something, it doesn't resonate at all, please go back, pick a different group, and see if that works. And if it did work for you, please leave a comment and let me know which group you belong to and how it resonated for you, or how it helped, or if you got any kind of wisdom or clarity. I love hearing about stuff like that, because that's why I do this stuff. I do this stuff too because I love it. I just love doing it, but then also because I love helping people. So whenever people do get some kind of help from the work that I do, I just love to hear about it, because it just makes me it just kind of confirms for me that I'm on the right path. So yeah, leave me a little message. If you want to, you can subscribe. I'll be doing weekly readings, or not just readings. In the new year, I will be doing some new stuff as well, but I'll definitely be posting every week. So I will see you guys next time. I hope this reading gave you some kind of clarity or some sort of confidence. And I will see you in the new year, because next week will already be 2021. So, all right, guys, have a happy new year, and we'll talk in a week. Bye.